You're optimizing for features while the rails are changing. Let's talk about it. One of the most common career mistakes I see right now is subtle. Smart people don't notice it because it looks like progress. They're getting better at tools, faster at execution, more efficient at what they already do. Meanwhile, the system underneath them is changing. They're optimizing features while the rails are shifting. Let me explain. Most people experience change at the surface level, a new tool, a new platform, a new workflow. So they respond accordingly. They learn the tool, they adopt the platform, they improve their output, which feels like the right move. And in the short term, it often is. But here's the problem. Features sit on top of rails. And when the rail changes, every feature built on top of it gets redefined. If you only see the feature, you're reacting. If you understand the rail, you're positioning. I've seen this pattern repeat across every major shift. When the internet emerged, many people saw websites. They learned how to build pages, optimize layouts, improve content. But the real shift wasn't websites, it was distribution. At Microsoft MSN, I was working at the entry points, homepage, email, and messaging. That's when it became clear. Control the entry points and you control attention. That's the rail. At eBay, most people saw an online marketplace, listings, auctions, transactions, but underneath was something more powerful, a trust system. At points.com, people saw loyalty programs, rewards, promotions, points. But what we were really building was a connected value exchange system. Same pattern, different surface. Now here's where this becomes very real. This is what it looks like in marketing today. Across marketing, the same mistake is kind of playing out. Most marketers are optimizing campaigns, channels, tools, outputs, while the rails underneath are shifting towards systems, behavior, data, decision-making. Let me break this down. So when it comes to brand marketing, this is kind of the feature thinking. Campaigns, visual identity, messaging, but the rail shift. Narrative is no longer controlled by the brand. It lives in culture, in networks, in interpretation. The expansion is moving from campaign creator to narrative system owner. In performance marketing, the feature thinking is ROAS, CPC, platform optimization. But the rail shift is AI is automating execution, and the real value is shifting to audience insight, creative strategy, signal interpretation. The expansion, move from media buyer or ad operator to system strategist. In product marketing, the feature thinking is launches, position decks, feature comparisons. But the rail shift is products no longer launch, they evolve continuously. Adoption happens in loops, not moments. The expansion is move from a launch manager to adoption system designer. In PR, feature thinking is press releases, media hits, coverage. The rail shift is reputation is built in real-time networks, not controlled narratives. The expansion is move from media relations to reputation management and a system strategist. In content marketing, the feature thinking is blogs, SEO, volume. The rail shift is AI has removed the scarcity of content. Now it's insights to output. Expansion is move from content producer to perspective builder. Social media, the feature thinking is posting, engagement, content calendars. But the rail shift is decision-making happens inside networks. Social is not a channel, it's infrastructure. The expansion is moved from content scheduler to behavioral signal interpreter. In marketing ops, feature thinking is tools, integrations, platforms. The rail shift is data flow and decision systems are what matter, not tools themselves. The expansion is moved from a tool manager to systems architect. In growth marketing, The feature thinking is funnels, experiments, optimization. The rail shift is customer journeys are no longer linear, they're loops. The expansion thinking is moved from funnel optimizer to systems thinker. Across every role, the pattern is the same. Execution is getting easier. Context is getting harder. Judgment is becoming more valuable. And yet, most people respond by getting better at execution. That's the trap. Because if your role is primarily following defined processes, producing outputs, operating within a narrow function, then you're sitting on top of a layer that is already shifting. And if your response is, I'll just get better at the tool, you're optimizing the feature, not positioning for the rail. This is why so many capable professionals feel stuck right now. They're working harder, learning more, doing the right things, but at the wrong layer. The people who navigate these shifts well don't ignore features. They just don't stop there. They ask, what is this changing underneath? Where is value moving? What becomes more important as this becomes easier? And then they move forward. Not perfectly, but early enough. Because once the rail is obvious, the opportunity is smaller. This isn't about abandoning what you do. It's about seeing where it sits. Because if you can't see the rail, you'll always be reacting to it. And reaction is always late. Next, I'll break down what to actually do about this. Because the smartest move right now isn't reinvention, it's expansion.